Oh, Shaquille Leonard. The linebacker formerly known as Darius to many of us, right? Tough spot for Colts fans to be in. And I was trying not to make an episode about Shaquille at any point. Because I really just wanted to let him go through it in peace, right? Just be quiet while he's healing. And then not bring the noise, not bring the attention on him. But I see that the conversation's starting to come up. So, I guess I'll pitch in, right? And as we get closer to OTAs, in training camp, right? And I think about the roster. I think about what this team can do this upcoming season. I just can't seem to escape the thoughts about all the uncertainty when it comes to his injury. 2 back surgeries is no joke. That is a big thing to deal with in life. And what is most alarming to me, and I'd imagine many others, is how similar this all feels to the handling of the Andrew Luck situation, right? All the mystery around it, all the lure, all the uncertainty. So I figured I would speak about this, given that the feel I'm getting is that everyone's kind of, we're all kind of on the same page here with this one, right? And then on the back end of the episode, if that doesn't take up enough time, I figured I would talk about how I became a Colts fan, a little bit about me. I'm starting to notice that a lot of you guys aren't from Indianapolis, not just here on the YouTube channel, but on Instagram. I had done a poll a while ago. By the way, the QR code is right there. Hopefully I'm pointing to the right side, but you'll see it. That's an active Instagram page. A lot of people there, 3/4 of the Colts fans we have on that page aren't from Indianapolis either. So I figured I would tell my story. Maybe some of you tell your story in the comments, and we would go from there. But, before we get into it, I just wanted to introduce myself. My name's Justin. This is the Ride on the Bench Colts cast. For those of you who continue to come back every single time I put it out an episode, I am so grateful for you at this stage of the video. You already know what I'm about to say. For those of you who are new here, welcome. If at any point during this you're enjoying it, just bloop, shoot it a like. That's going to do me a favor. It's going to help me get out to as many people as possible. It's also going to let me know if I need to improve, right? And then on top of it, it's going to let YouTube know what type of content you want to see in front of your face. So it's really this whole ecosystem of positive things going on. On top of that, if you'd like to follow me along this journey as I talk about the Colts for the rest of my damn life on this YouTube channel, you can go ahead and subscribe as well. But most importantly, just enjoy the video. It's why I'm here. I'm trying to get better. I feel like I am. And, I'm really trying to make great content for Colts fans to, to discuss. Like, I'm not the news or anything like that, right? Like, I just share opinions. I create discussion. And hopefully, make the community a little bit better of a place to be a part of. But that's besides the point, right? Let's get back into the content of the episode. It's why you clicked, right? Let's talk about Shaquille Leonard. And damn, this guy is so good at the game of football, much like Andrew Luck, right? It's what makes this so aggravating for us because we know that when he's on the field, this is the best linebacker in football. Now, is there debate? Maybe. Does it matter? No. This is a Colts show, right? So Darius Leonard's the best linebacker in football, and we're paying him basically as such. Is he not the highest paid in football? If he's not, he's got to be close, right? The contract was recently. Now, the big thing with this is that we just don't know, right? All we could do is sit here and speculate. It's been like that for quite some time, right? Now, if we're taking a guess as to where the organization is at with it, we can look at the offseason move. Letting Bobby Okereke go is a sign that they feel like he's got to be close enough. That type of decision doesn't show much worry to me unless they're looking at it as such a situation where you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? You bring back Bobby Okereke and then you pay him and you're paying Leonard and, you're just putting too much money in the position. And if you let him go and Darius, do you get what I'm saying? It kind of turns into this thing where what is the right decision? Whatever. They let him walk. They put their eggs in the Darius Leonard They put their eggs in the Shaquille Leonard basket. I'm sorry. Am I the only one that's going to be saying Darius? For a long time, I don't mean to be disrespectful. It's just hard to keep up. But the thing with all of it, though, is that it is unusual. And it feels grim, right? Like, it feels like not good. And I want to read real quickly for you some of the stuff that Darius Leonard said. This was back in April, right? When he was asked about, what it was like last year. He says, mentally, it was really, really bad. Seeing the guys out there fighting for a win each Sunday and me standing on the sideline too many times after the game, I'm in the locker room just boo-hooing. I feel like I let the team down. I feel somewhat embarrassed coming in there injured, not getting better. Felt like I didn't want to be around for a while. It was hard. Now, that's some pretty heavy stuff. And if you remember in the Andrew Luck situation, there were rumblings about his retirement. Oh man, probably like a year and a half prior, right? And then there was that story that came out by was it ESPN? Who did the story on Andrew Luck recently? That was like, it was finally like some more insight into his retirement. I mean, the stuff that Darius Leonard says sounds a lot like that type of thing. So, man, if he could come back to 75 to 80% of what he was, that would be absolutely amazing for this team. But, it just smells off, and it's very unusual for this type of mystery surrounding injuries to be playing out within an organization twice in such a period of time. As an organization, right, as I look at Chris Ballard, really, as I look at Jim Irsay, I understand the benefit of running a tight-lipped ship, right? And I get why you would do that, right? In the draft, here I am bringing up the quarterbacks again, can't help myself. Everyone thought we were going to get Will Levis, but this organization was able to keep it in-house, and that, Anthony Richardson was going to be the guy that they were getting, and they said they had been decided on that for a month, yet somehow that month leading up was all about Levis, right? So we get that, right? We understand that aspect of things, but there is a fine line between doing that and then not being honest with us, the fan base, and they're towing it a little bit, if I'm to be, at least in my opinion. And maybe it's just coincidence, but for me, it just seems a little unusual. And I understand there's a lot of moving parts. You have Ballard, Irsay, Leonard himself, right? You have the training staff. You have presumably doctors he deals with that don't work for the Colts, and all these different things trying to figure out what the best. But the fact that it even is so convoluted, so now I'm getting worked up a little bit. The fact that this is even a thing just goes to show that this is pretty bad. And for you to sit here and look at us, the fan base, and make like, oh, he's getting better, but there's no timetable, this, that, the next, is a little bit aggravating. And I know, I think the volume of my voice just raised a lot. But my point is that, listen, I want resolution to this situation. It's aggravation for me. I'm speaking a little emotionally right now. This episode wasn't even what I planned on recording today, but I can't get it off my mind, right? If he's going to play, let us know. We're getting close. Before you know it, it's going to be the preseason. If we still don't know right now, I mean, how long can this possibly go, right? And I try not to really, do I try not to be emotional on this channel? I don't know. I'm speaking out of my ass. But here's my thing. Please, Indianapolis, the Colts, someone, tell me what's going on here right now. Because the longer this goes on without me knowing the answer, the more negative I'm going to get about it. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. And that's not to try to shit on anyone. It's just, I can't help my emotions in this situation, man. He's so good. He's so good. All right. I'm going to stop ranting about that because now I feel like I'm going to be going in a circle. But I wanted to now tell the story about how I became a Colts fan. A little fun on the back end of this episode, right? So I'm out here in Long Island. I forget if I said that at the top of the show. And obviously, not having grown up in Indianapolis, there was no one that led me to this team, so I've had my own journey. So I want to tell you a story back from the year, 2004, 2005. It's hard to know. I'm in elementary school, right? So I'm in class, and if anyone remembers in elementary school, you're in class. Every now and then they bring you to the book fair or the library. You leave the classroom, right? It's like a very special event. So we end up going to the library. We get there. They sit us down at the tables. The teacher says, hey, I want all you guys to walk around the library, find a book of someone that inspires you, right? Someone that, right? The whole thing is that we're going to be writing a book report on this person, right? Long story short. So people in my class are going for really influential people, right? They go ahead and they're looking at the Rosa Parks of the world, the John F. Kennedys, right? All these big historical figures. Me, being the very studious individual I was, if you can't tell by my tone on the show here, I was looking for the smallest book possible, right? The absolute smallest book. So I found, just tucked into the shelf, this book right here. And I don't know if, hold on, let me pull up the camera real fast. If you could see that right there. I found this book right here and I bought it and it's been in the background on that shelf right there since I've been doing the Colts cast, just as kind of a reminder as to why I'm here, right? And I found this book on Peyton Manning. And if I'm not mistaken, I still haven't read this since I got it. I'm pretty sure that in here, this was released after the season. No. So look, it's career statistics, and you get to fill them in as it goes along, right? So this right here is when it happened. Wow, this book was a while ago. His point being is that this is right around the Brandon Stokely time. The first Super Bowl I ever watched was the Eagles and the Colts, to clarify. But regardless, I find this book. I write the book report on Peyton Manning, and I have been a Colts fan, diehard, ever since. It's really been most of my personality. I mean, if I'm out in public and I'm talking to anyone, if you're not talking about football or the Colts, 80% of the conversation I could have with you is gone. It's just the honest truth. But I figured I would just kind of tell that story because I feel like it's a fun little one. And I'm curious to hear what your story is as well. Hopefully that was told well. I'm sure I'll refine it and tell it in more detail again in the future. But I just wanted to let all of you know. And just to think that this book on that day, in that time, almost 20 years later, has led me to this. And here I am talking about this. So it's funny how life works that way, right? So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. That's the entire episode. This is just a short one to get out, something for you to nibble on a Sunday before you get into work, right? And go through your Monday through Friday like the rest of us, including myself. And that's it. So if you haven't liked the video yet, you're still here, you probably don't hate it too much, go ahead, shoot that like. Greatly appreciated. Subscribe as well if you want to be a part of the journey. But totally fine if you don't do it today. I think I'll get you another time. Until next time, until I see you again, I'm Justin, and this is the Ride on the Bench Colts Cast.